Have you ever wondered what's really going through a man's mind when he's in love? It can be hard to decipher what they're feeling, especially since they don't always express it in the ways we expect. Does he love you, but fear opening up? Or maybe he's showing signs of affection that you haven't noticed yet. In this video, I'll explain how men experience love, the surprising and often silent ways they express their feelings, and, of course, what these actions reveal about their hearts. Stick around until the end, because understanding this might completely change the way you view your relationship. Have you ever caught yourself wondering if he really likes you? Sometimes, men speak less and show more through their actions. One of the first signs of affection is when he makes a point to be present, even if it means adjusting his own plans. For instance, he might cancel something just to see you or agree to do things you enjoy, even if they're not his favorites. That's his way of saying, without words, that you're a priority. Another clear sign is how he cares about your day-to-day life. He might send you messages just to check in or surprise you with your favorite coffee because he knows you're exhausted. It's not just politeness, it's a special kind of care he doesn't show to just anyone. These little gestures reveal that you hold a unique place in his life and that he genuinely pays attention to what matters to you. Also, notice how he responds to your needs and desires. If he listens attentively, remembers what you say, and finds unexpected ways to make you happy, it's definitely love. For example, if you mention loving a particular dessert and days later he surprises you with it, that says a lot about how much he wants to make you happy. These are simple actions, but they carry deep meaning. Now, the signs aren't always so obvious, right? It can be tough to figure out what he's feeling. So, how about considering how he reacts when you're vulnerable or happy? These responses can tell you a lot. Speaking of which, I'll dive deeper into this in the next section because I want to help you understand his heart better. Oh, and tell me, has he ever shown you signs like this? I'd love to know. Is he in love? Pay attention to this behavior's P. Man has his own way of showing how he feels, but there's one detail that never fails. How does he react to your emotions? If he tries to help you when you're worried, makes you laugh, or simply listens without judgment, it's a clear sign. He's emotionally connected. It's not just about listening. He wants to be part of the solution, which shows how much you mean to him. Another thing to consider, does he include you in his plans? A man in love starts thinking in terms of us instead of me. He talks about the future, asks where you see yourself, or even brings up taking a trip together. These conversations show that he sees you not just in the present, but also in his future. It's his way of showing he's serious about the relationship. And when it comes to your passions and interests, does he pay attention? Even if he doesn't fully understand what you love, he might try to get involved or do something special for you. For example, if you're into gardening, he might bring you a plant as a gift or look up something related to it. These small actions say, I want to be part of what matters to you. So, tell me, have you noticed these signs in your relationship? Does he listen to you, include you in his plans, or do unexpected things to make you happy? Share your stories in the comments. I can't wait to hear them. Who knows? Your story might inspire someone else who's trying to understand their partner's heart. The language of love. What really matters to them? Have you noticed how people have different ways of showing love? It's no different with men. Some are more physical. They love to hug, kiss, or hold your hand. Others prefer to show affection in practical ways, like solving a problem you mentioned or doing something for you without you even asking. The key is to observe his behavior. Actions often speak louder than words. Another common way men show love is by offering support and protection. This doesn't just mean being around, but being someone you can truly rely on. For example, if he encourages you to chase your dreams or supports you through a tough time, he's showing that he wants to be your foundation. Even without words, this kind of gesture is genuine proof that he deeply cares. Also, pay attention to his efforts to value what you like. It could be something simple, like trying to cook your favorite dish, or watching a show you recommended, even if it's not his usual thing. These gestures show that he's willing to step out of his comfort zone just to connect with you. That's a sign that your interests matter to him. Now, how can you use these clues to strengthen your relationship? And what if he struggles to express his feelings? In the next section, we'll talk about the challenges some men face when it comes to showing their emotions and how you can help him feel more comfortable. This could completely shift the dynamic between you two. Have you noticed how some men can seem more reserved even when they're in love? This often stems from how they were taught about emotions growing up. From a young age, many men are told not to show vulnerability, which makes it hard for them to open up, even when their feelings are real. It's not that they don't feel, it's that they haven't learned how to show it. Another reason is the fear of rejection. He might be full of feelings for you, but hesitant to open up because he wants to be sure his feelings are reciprocated before exposing himself. Imagine he's testing the waters carefully because he values your relationship. This more cautious behavior doesn't mean a lack of interest. It's a sign that he's trying to protect what you're building together. Besides, the signs he gives can be more subtle. Some men show their feelings through small actions, like always being available when you need them or offering help without you even asking. It's easy to mistake this slowness for lack of interest, but many times these gestures show that he takes the relationship very seriously and is investing in it, even if in a quiet way. So, how can you help him feel more comfortable opening up? What can you do to make him trust you enough to show what he feels without fear? In the next steps, we'll explore the little gestures he makes that often go unnoticed but carry a huge amount of meaning. These details can completely change the way you see what he feels. Not every man is one for big words or grand declarations, but small gestures can say a lot about what he feels. Have you noticed simple things, like him holding your hand during a walk or adjusting your pillow so you can sleep more comfortably? They're small details, but they're full of meaning. These actions show that he's attentive and wants you to feel cared for and special. Another clear sign is when he creates moments for the two of you to be together. It can be something simple, like showing up with your favorite food, suggesting a walk to clear your mind, or sending a sweet message in the middle of a busy day. These small initiatives show how much he values the two of you and the effort he puts into bringing joy into your life. You can also see how much he cares through his everyday actions. For instance, he might make sure you're safe when crossing the street, join you in errands he could easily skip, or carry the heavier bags. No matter how simple the situation may seem, for him, being by your side is his way of reinforcing that you're a priority. But the truth is, these gestures often go unnoticed, don't they? The question is, what do they really mean about his feelings? And how do these acts connect to the commitment he has to you? Now, let's talk about how commitment goes far beyond words and becomes the foundation of a solid and genuine relationship. When a man is truly in love, commitment isn't just a word, it's something he demonstrates every day. He doesn't just say he wants to be with you, he makes it happen. For example, he includes you in future plans, like trips, gatherings with friends, or even conversations about living together one day. This shows that he sees the two of you as a team. A big sign of commitment is when he shares the important parts of his life with you. Whether it's introducing you to his family and friends, talking about his dreams, or asking for your opinion on something important to him, it means he trusts you and values your role in his life. This level of openness is one of the greatest expressions of affection and respect. Moreover, his commitment shows in how he prioritizes the relationship, even during tough times. Maybe he has to give something up, or adjust his schedule to be present at an important event for you. Or, when disagreements arise, he chooses to resolve them rather than ignore them. These constant efforts are his way of saying, "You're worth it to me." But how can you tell if his commitment is genuine and goes beyond these gestures and words? And how does he really feel about taking that step towards something more serious? Let's explore how men use words to open their hearts and what to pay attention to when he finally expresses himself. Not all men are naturally good with words, but when they say something, it's often filled with meaning. Simple phrases like, "I care about you," or "You're really important to me," might seem ordinary, but they reveal a lot about his feelings. These words show that he values you and is emotionally invested in the relationship. Another way to understand what he feels is when he begins to talk about deeper topics. A man in love might share his dreams, fears, or past experiences that he would normally keep to himself. This vulnerability is a sign that he trusts you and wants you to see the most authentic side of him. When he opens up like this, it's because you hold a special place in his life. Also, pay attention to how he uses words to include you in his life. When he says we instead of I, or mentions things like what we're going to do next year, it shows that he's already thinking of the two of you as a pair. These small details in how he speaks reflect the commitment and passion he feels for you. But what should you do when he's not great at expressing himself verbally? How can you understand his feelings when the words don't come easily? This brings us to something even more important, aligning what he says with what he does. In the end, true love can be demonstrated in many ways. And what truly matters is the intention and sincerity behind every gesture and word. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but he still seems distant? Maybe you're trying to please him in the wrong way. There's something that triggers the deepest and most natural desire in any man, something he doesn't even realize he needs. Imagine being the woman he thinks about all day long, the one he could never forget. Want to find out how this works? I've left a video in the comments that explains exactly that. Don't miss this chance to transform your relationship or create the one you've always dreamed of. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel and check out the next video, which is already playing on your screen.